All right, so there's a lot of talk about like these Hema and anti-weight practical for self-defense application. So the short answer is it depends. The longer answer is I'd say some of our dagger stuff, absolutely, like super, like some of the stuff where we're coming in. If he's coming in here and I'm doing something like that and doing a wrap up, obviously the stuff we use is a little longer than most modern knives, and there are people who are way more practiced at the dagger stuff than I am, so I definitely think there's some application there. But for most people who are Hema practitioners, it's longsword, it's messer, rapier, saber, stuff like that. So can you employ any of that knowledge in a self-defense context? And I think, yes, to an extent. So we got these little beating batons, courtesy of Connor's gym.
Courtesy of Walker MMA, these are for holding pads. So you use the leg and the leg hold them up. It's really for punching targets, so it's not as huge of a margin of error that you have on like a big iPad.
Right. So for today's sort of thought experiment, this is a maglev, this is an umbrella, this is cane, something. So there's some stuff that we practice in Hema that I think has some pretty good translation to a self-defense context if you want to drop your weapon. So I'm going to assume that for whatever reason, Connor is really angry at me and he's either trying to beat the shit out of me or trying to tie me up in some kind of grappling thing. So what I want to do, I think, is basically, as we often do in Hema, address the hand. So if Connor's punching at me, and I've got a nice solid thing to defend myself with.
Actually, it was a little hard to see there, but where that blow came in, he would have shattered half my hand.
Yeah.
Because he hit my small knuckles. It would have easily broken.
Right. So again, with our normal sword techniques, you want to address the hand. So if he's either punching at me, you want to.
That's a faster block than I usually give him.
Right. So, and then if he's closing in like that, you saw he's getting kind of close to me, or I'm in here. So this is obviously really short. And again, this is more of a thought experiment rather than like this is how you defend yourself. But similar concept. Address the hands, use your range to your opponent's advantage. Yeah, that's things that it doesn't. That was right. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. These are actually literally, just so everyone's clear, the reason I'm not wearing safety equipment for this is because these are literally designed to be hit, and for these blocking drills, like blade throws into my head, they're literally designed to do this. So that's why I'm not wearing pads. That one just came in here to be on my wrist.
Yeah. So you can use some of the sort of standing grappling techniques that we use in, say, Messer or something like that. So if Connor throws a punch at me, I can stop him here with the weapon. This will at least give him pause, come down, and now I've opened up his head. I mean, if he puts his hand in there, fine, that's his fingers. And if he can't use his fingers, he can't seize me, he can't continue to assault me with his hands. I mean, Connor's a trained fighter, so he obviously can use his feet. But again, even with kicks, if you see a kick coming, his shins are hard because he practices kicking.
So what I was just saying there is, I personally and my teammates will probably go through the maglev or something there, more because of how the human wrist works than anything else, and because their shins are quite hard. But like someone who's you've just broken their hand and is now trying desperately to throw kicks at you, they will not enjoy that.
Yeah, the thing is, actually, let's back up a little bit. What I'm really trying to emphasize here is if you're a Hema guy and you're being attacked, especially by someone who's trained and wants to get in close, you use the same strategies as you would in Hema is if you've got a longer reach on your opponent. Keep them at your distance and don't let them get close to you, and you pick them apart piece by piece. So, whatever range he has, this is similar to mine. I'm obviously bigger than him, but whatever range he has, I've got more because I've got a stick. And the other thing is, let's talk about guards for a quick second. The guards you don't want to use is stuff like this, or like this, or something like this, because that's how he takes my weapon. And now I'm totally fucked because I'm unarmed and I don't know how to fight close combat. So if you're going to use guards that, if you're just sort of instinctively going to a guard that you're familiar with, you want stuff that's back. You want to keep this hand in front. Because, let's say Connor is able to grab my hand, then I can, you can get the hand. The one thing you don't want is to get your weapon taken. Because this is all you got. Okay, going against someone who knows what he's doing in a close combat.
Also, like, this is not super rigid or anything. So one of the things I was just about to say, I don't like to drink this. Like, one of the things that he can do too is to use it.
Hold on.
Maybe. And more of like a thrust, but more of like kind of rigor style. So even if you're using like a mag light or something, like it doesn't feel great. Though if you have one with a glass breaker on the end, those are awful to get poked with. I know from experience. But like one of the things he can do with this, even if it is a cane, an umbrella, or anything, if I come in with like a flying knee or something, and he just pokes me, I'll upend it.
Yeah.
Because I'm in the air. So it's more like, that I try and come in and I can't, he's moving and I can't get in, and say, fuck it, and I'm going to get thrusted in the chest. It won't be great.
The only, for thrusts and an actual application, your only target is the face.
So if you're making distance, because this is the reason I'm saying this is from one time. So like one of the big things we use is a T to make space. Now if you're trying to get out of this, if your goal is to get out of the situation, a thrust to the chest or stomach will be very effective. Again, and especially if they get overbalanced coming in like this, you go high on the chest, they'll go over backwards. I've done it to people, play crushes into throw punches. And he's backing up 2-3 steps. And that can be enough for them to be like, maybe not this guy.
Yeah. Fair enough, yeah. So I put against a determined opponent, whether they're really mad, drunk, otherwise intoxicated, doing this is not gonna do much with anything. However, that to the eye or to the nose, especially if you've got a broad flashlight, that you can whack pretty good. So, but generally, I would say strikes are what you want. Thrusts are sort of the last, okay, his face is really exposed.
But it's a distance. Yeah. Maintain distance.
And, if he's in the air, then fine. Target, address the mass. Yeah, address the flying mass. But otherwise, strikes, vary your distance. Even if he's throwing kicks at you, you still got more distance. And if you squiff a hit, it's not a big deal. Because he doesn't have a sword to address my hand with. Yeah. And this can come around in a lot of weird.
This is just kind of a thought experiment. On the way over, we figured we'd film a little bit of extra content over here. Yeah. Hopefully, I'll have all of these videos in a relatively quick series. Obviously, I'm going to keep doing some of these scheme stuff with Blake. We'll be seeing more of the takedowns from larger opponents. We might try and redo the spear versus sword experiment at some point. And I think we're going to redo the knife fight.
Yeah, no, we got some stuff to change.
Yeah, so we have some interesting stuff. Obviously, a lot of it is still going to be kind of grappling, self-defense, martial arts based, but we will have a couple of these thought experiment type things going up as well, because we have a few other. I mean, Blake needs to do a lecture on the almighty 20s things. But that's about it. Thanks for watching, guys.